Hi, Nicola. Hope you're doing well. So, as I said, we're going to get you involved with basically creating the framework for our new CRM, our contact relationship management system. So, what I've done is I have created a spreadsheet with all of the various sections that we're going to use. So it's on Company Hub. Send you the login details if I haven't already. And basically, um, Company Hub is completely customizable in all areas. So what you're going to do is you're going to be the one who creates that customization and puts all the correct fields in each place. So um, there's there's three different types of category really for what we're looking at. There's people, individuals, which will then be split into different subcategories like coach, team secretary, parent, etc., which we're not looking at right now. That will be the next stage. There's organizations, which for the time being anyway, will be split into company, team, or club. And then there is um, like other data, basically, which covers all aspects of other data. So, for example, there's going to be there's going to be kit and equipment, which will be our directory of kit and equipment. There will be the club lottery project. There'll be matches as a project. So I've test drive most of it and I know how to do most of it. So I'm going to try and explain how to do it as best I can. So the one that I've done is kit and equipment. So to create that, I went to customize. I went to tables and I went to new table and I created it. And then when you've created it, you have so kit and equipment. So you have it comes up with all the fields, and you just basically go to customize fields and drag and drop the relevant fields into the relevant place. You've got all these different field types and options. Most of them are straightforward field types that you'd have worked with before. The one that is maybe slightly different is the associate with another record field, which is this is how we sync up our database and make it intelligent. So, for example, I'm going to drag that there, and then I'm going to say, or I'll just use I'll use the existing one that we've done, the borrow by. So the borrow by field looks up contact and yeah, basically it allows us to select somebody from the contact section to see who's borrowed it by. And what that basically does is when you go to kit and equipment, you can see, all right, this item has been borrowed by me. So you click on that person, their contact info comes up, and then you can click on kit and equipment and see all the kit that they've got out. So that's how they all work together, and it all syncs up, which will give us really good reporting, as opposed to just looking at all the equipment and having to look through the list individually or whatever. So yeah, basically the kit and equipment is the only table that has already been made. So that needs to be so that nothing needs to be done there. Matches is a custom table which needs to be made from scratch. So I've put in the field, what type of field it is, and if it's a multiple choice field, I've put in the multiple choices. I mean, just because of the nature of this, with the lookup fields, there might be some times where you need to just create a text field, and then because you've not got round to creating the category yet, and then come back and change it to a lookup field. But you'll figure that out as you go along. And then you've got matches, which is a new custom table, and then you've got club lottery, which again is a new custom table. The one thing that I'm not, which I believe you can do, but I've not actually figured out yet, which have a bash yourself and let me know if you are able to figure it out. But basically, I've been told that, so if you, for example, someone's putting in the lottery project and they search for the key contact and they find the person from contacts, it should bring across all of the information like position, email, and phone, so you don't have to search or type that out individually. So see if you can figure out how to do that. If not, then there's actually, if you can't figure out how to do that, you can, when you're in Company Hub, you can just click the little text box in the bottom corner and ask for some support. Maybe try and figure that out quite soon, because they take a wee while, sometimes a few hours to come back to you. So they can be getting that info. So yeah, so the club lottery needs to be made as a new table. Matches, I actually used, I used that as, I created that table and used it as a demo testing area. So probably I would almost be starting from scratch there. It's up to you whether you want to just delete all the entries and start again, or whether you want to look at each one I've made. But that was just, the matches section was just a complete testing area for me. So don't consider that done, and don't have any issues with removing my fields that I had created if they're not in this list here. Okay, so and then when it comes to teams and clubs, it's slightly different, because what we want to do is we want to make them, we want to have for them to sit under organizations, because to show you why, the organizations are a nice customized field where, customized like record, where you can add notes, you can add attachments, and you can add tags. Whereas if you look at one of the new custom tables, like in kit and equipment, and then you look at a record for like rain cover, as you can see, it's not half as it does the job that is required. It provides the essential information, and it links up and stuff, but it doesn't have those things that I mentioned, which are useful when it comes to teams and clubs for leaving ongoing notes about our dealings with them, and tagging them as we may do. Okay, so basically what you need to do, because these sit underneath organizations, you go to customize and you go to dynamic forms and select. So it would be organization. And then basically you want somebody to, what I've done already is I've created, I've not done anything with organizations yet, apart from one thing. I've created a field called type of organization, and underneath it, it's got team or club. So what you want to do is basically the information for a business that we might do some trading with or whatever is going to be completely different to what we need to see for a club or a team. So I want all the fields to completely change, but rather than doing it as a custom table, I still want it to sit under organization to give us those advanced features. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go into rules, and then you're going to basically select, I mean, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can either remove all of the fields from organization and start again, or you can, so what do you want to do? We want to section company details. So we might actually be able to do this via section. So like company details is a section, billing address, shipping address. So let's look at hide sections. So yeah, this will make our life easier. So we're not having to deal with individual fields. So like we can hide the section, all these sections for, so and then click done, and then say, right, we want to hide all these sections if they have selected that type of organization is a club. Why? Or to be fair, we probably could have done it the same. We could have done team at the same time there because it allowed us to multiple choice. Yeah, so if it's a club or a team, none of this info shows. So I'll probably just save that because that's going to be accurate. And then what you need to then do is create a new section called club and a new section called team, and then basically have it so those fields show when somebody does select club or do select team, which gives a completely different set of entries depending on how they select that box at the top. Okay, so I've got all the different sets of fields in here, and I'll create a sort of overall overview summary status thing as well. So yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. Should hopefully be straightforward, and that once we've done this, we can then look at like how do we categorize all the people in our database? How do we categorize? There might be other things that we can also add, like products and stuff like that, but we'll come to that next. Right, cheers.